The transatlantic slave trade remains a dark chapter in history, characterized by its profound impact on African societies and the Americas. To understand why some Africans participated in selling fellow Africans into American slavery and the differences between enslaved Africans and European indentured servants, we must delve into the complex historical, economic, and social dynamics of that era. In the context of Africans selling Africans, it's essential to recognize that Africa is a vast continent with many cultures, societies, and power structures. A combination of factors drove the involvement of certain African groups in the transatlantic slave trade. Firstly, economic incentives played a significant role. European colonial powers established trading posts along the African coast, creating a demand for enslaved people in the Americas. Some African societies, facing their economic challenges, saw an opportunity to exchange captives from rival tribes for valuable goods like firearms, textiles, and other commodities provided by the Europeans. This financial transaction appeared attractive in the face of scarce resources. Secondly, intertribal conflicts were not uncommon in Africa. Warfare between different ethnic groups often led to the capture of prisoners. In these circumstances, some African societies chose to sell these captives to European traders rather than execute them. This decision was sometimes influenced by cultural norms and the belief that these captives could serve a purpose within the broader economic system. Contrary to this, European indentured servants had different backgrounds and roles in the colonial Americas. These individuals were predominantly poor Europeans seeking a chance at a better life. In exchange for passage to the Americas, they willingly entered into contracts, indentures, binding them to serve a set number of years, typically 4 to 7, as laborers. Unlike African slaves, indentured servants had a contractual agreement, legal rights, and the promise of eventual freedom and land upon completing their term of service. The differences between enslaved Africans and European indentured servants were stark. Enslaved Africans were subjected to the harshest form of exploitation, chattel slavery. They were treated as property, forcibly uprooted from their homeland, and forced into lifelong servitude. Their status was hereditary, condemning generations to the same fate. Their conditions were often brutal, marked by physical and psychological abuse and dehumanizing entire people. On the other hand, European indentured servants faced challenges, but their situation differed significantly. They retained some legal rights and their servitude was temporary. After fulfilling their contracts, they gained freedom and sometimes received land or resources to start anew. Their experience was characterized by the hope of bettering their circumstances and integrating into colonial society. In conclusion, the involvement of Africans in selling fellow Africans into American slavery was driven by a complex interplay of economic, social, and cultural factors. The differences between enslaved Africans and European indentured servants were rooted in their servitude, legal status, prospects for the future, and the broader societal systems in which they were embedded. Both aspects are crucial to understanding the multifaceted history of the transatlantic slave trade and its lasting impact on the world.